Well, that was an ass whooping, courtesy of Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. We'll talk about it next in the DLLS Mavs postgame. Welcome to the DLLS Mavs post-game show powered by Michelob Ultra. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra at 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's a superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the NBA and by Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DLLS for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app. Day. Mavericks get Wemby. 125-92 in their season opener as Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs absolutely destroy the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Wembanyama tonight goes for what was 40 points, 15 rebounds, and was credited with 3 blocked shots and was a plus 31 in his, check this out, 29 minutes on the floor.
Jesus.
Meanwhile,
are you serious?
29 minutes. 29 minutes.
Oh my God,
29 minutes. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis goes for 22 points on 7 of 22 shooting. Cooper Flagg had 10 points and 10 rebounds in his debut, just 4 of 13 from the field. I'm your man, Kevin Gray, alongside our Mavericks analyst, Bobby Crow. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs, even when they get clobbered in their season opener. As Bobby, we saw a historic performance for a season opener for Victor Wembanyama, who went smooth off in every conceivable way possible against the Dallas Mavericks tonight.
Yeah, I mean, dude, where do you even start? That was some real witchcraft. Like, I think if Wemby was alive like 400 years ago, I think the village would have like risen up and done something about it by now.
Like, we can't have this.
Yeah, like they would have seen like if he could float or something. Like it would have got pretty uncomfortable back then. But he's alive now. We're lucky enough to get to watch him play. The Mavs were unfortunate enough to have to play against him tonight. That was unbelievable, man. He made 4 or 5 plays that afterward I thought to myself, I've never seen anything like that. The sequence where he
oh my gosh,
completely like he like sent Dereck Lively backwards in time at one end of the floor and then comes away with the ball and then faces him up and goes like between the leg crossover behind the back, step back 3, foul and 1. That was really something. But this is a Mavs podcast. My one big takeaway from the game, Kevin, is that I'm looking forward to all 82 post-game shows this year and then any potential play-in and playoff shows. And with that, I will see you on the next episode.
No, we still got a long time to go on this particular episode.
Damn, okay.
What you need to know from this game, my big takeaway, check this out. The Mavericks in the final 3, Mavericks actually had a lead at the end of the first quarter. Mavericks led 29-28 at the end of 1. The Mavericks proceeded to get outscored in the final 3 quarters combined, Bobby, 97-63.
Yikes. Yeah, I mean, for a really long time, I want to say for roughly the last like 25 years, generally speaking, on more nights than not, the Mavs had the best player on the floor. Like between Dirk and then Luka, for a very long time, probably about 90% of the time, the best player on the floor was in a Mavs jersey. And, you know, depending on what kind of form AD is in on any given night, it is very likely that this year, in like half their games, if not more, they will not have the best player on the floor. And that kind of thing is like, that's so sports radio, like embrace debate, first pizza kind of thing. But like we saw that tonight. Like Wemby was extremely good. The Mavs could do nothing about it. He's too tall to double team, but even if they did double team, they had guys knocking down shots. They had a bunch of dudes in double figures. The Mavs look completely helpless against Wemby. And that is exactly the way that Dirk made teams feel for a long time. And that is exactly the way that Luka made teams feel for a long time. And frankly, too, I mean, Kyrie will sometimes make teams feel that way. But he's not coming back anytime soon, you know? And so unless AD really has it going, the Mavs are always going to be trying to stop the other guy before he hurts him too much. Like that, they're just going to have to be on the back foot all year long. And if you can't slow the guy down, then things are going to unravel. Tonight, the Mavs took as many mid-range jumpers as they did three-pointers. They took 21 threes as a team. They took 21 twos that were not inside the paint.
Ooh.
All right? That is really bad. Last year, only 2 teams in the league took more than 12 long twos per game. Only one of them took more than 13. That was the Kings. The Kings sucked. All right, the Mavs ended the Kings season last year.
They did.
By the way, the Mavs hired their offensive guy to run this team, but hopefully they're going to be a little more efficient than the Kings were, but that is a really bad recipe, man. And then when they got in the lane, they did not make those shots either. They were 13 of 41 on shots in the lane. That is 31.7%. 31.7% in the paint. And that is not all Wemby, dude. I know Wemby had a lot to do with that, but that is bad. That is bad.
Through 3 quarters, the Mavericks were 2 of 10 on shots contested by Victor Wembanyama. You talk about points in the paint. The Mavericks gave up 60 points in the first half. The Spurs only took 9 threes and had 30 points in the paint. Victor Wembanyama was dominating anywhere in any area on the floor. There's a lot of things that you'll look at this game and wonder, how did that happen? One of the things that really plagued the Mavs, and we'll talk about throughout the course of the show, you look at that first half, the Mavericks bigs got into foul trouble early and often in this game. In fact, AD had 4 fouls at the end of the first half. Dereck Lively had 3 fouls at the end of the first half. PJ Washington had 3 fouls at the end of the first half. The bigs for the Mavericks were in a lot of trouble from a foul standpoint. Cooper Flagg, he found out in a lot of ways tonight. Yes, I know he had the double-double, only going 4 of 13 from the field, but the NBA defensive pressure at this level is much different than it is in college, because Stephon Castle, the reigning rookie of the year in the NBA, had some really nice moments in defending Cooper Flagg, and he'll learn as to deal with NBA type of pressure. But I thought that was one of the overarching takeaways for me, was Cooper Flagg got a learning lesson in NBA defensive pressure in a lot of ways from a really good defender, Stephon Castle, who had his way at times with Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, when, before the show, really during the game, really throughout the whole night, I'm trolling producer Tanner. KG, you were at the arena.
I was.
Ron is at the arena right now. Stein is at the arena right now. So it's just me and Tanner here watching the game. And basically, from about midway through the second quarter up until about 25 seconds before we hit go live, I was trolling Tanner with, everything I said all summer's right. I'm a ball knower, blah, blah, blah. But the one thing that I was been very consistent about all offseason, ever since they won the lottery and the rights to get Coop, is that I don't want them to have to put too much on his plate right out of the gate.
Agreed.
Like, let him kind of ease into it. Figure out what he is. Figure out who he is. Figure out what he does. Like, Luka was not the Mavs point guard on opening night. He wasn't their point guard for like a month, which is not a very long time, let's be honest. But for about a month, they were just figuring it out, seeing what Luka was capable of, how powerful he is, and all that stuff. With Coop, you're throwing him into a position that he has never played before. He's literally never played point guard at any level of his career before, except for maybe high school, whenever, that doesn't even count. Like freshman year of high school team or whatever. He's playing out of position, being guarded by guys that are much closer to the ground than he is, that are much feistier on the ball than anyone he's ever gone up against in college. And so for a guy with like a slightly loose handle, that's a recipe for disaster. And in the first half, he got, what, 2 shots?
Yeah.
In the whole first half?
Went 0 of 2.
It's because he was spending all of his time trying to bring the ball up the floor and then get off the ball, and then AD was pound, pull up mid-ranger. Like, that is just not – that is exactly why I didn't want Coop to play point guard, because he's spending way too much time doing things that he just should not have to be doing, that he's not good at, that he's not comfortable with, familiar with, and all those things. It was very tough, dude. It was very, very tough.
Some of the numbers from tonight's game: the Mavericks had 16 turnovers in tonight's game. They did go 9 of 21 from the three-point line at just 43%. Spurs went 8 of 20 from downtown at a 40% clip. The number that really concerned me, though, the Spurs shot 57.5% from the field tonight overall, going 50 of 87. The Mavericks were 31 of 83 overall from the field, as the Spurs went 42 for 67 on 2-point field goals. Meanwhile, the Mavericks were 22 of 62 in 2-point range. So that gives you an idea of some of the ugly numbers behind tonight's game. The Mavericks went 21 of 26 from the free throw line at a near 81% clip. Meanwhile, look, if the Spurs had made even a decent amount of their free throws, they would have won this game by 40. They only went 17 of 28 from the free throw line at a 61% clip. At one point, that was really the only thing keeping the Mavericks somewhat tethered to the Spurs early on in the first half, was the fact that San Antonio kept missing free throws early on in the game. PJ Washington was your second leading scorer. He had 17 points. Had a decent second quarter. Actually had a decent night overall from the field, going 7 of 11 in his 29 minutes, but was a minus 20 overall. D'Angelo Russell really struggled tonight. He was, 6 points, a minus 4, just 1 of 6 from the field. But no matter how you slice it, the numbers.
He missed a couple layups. It was a tough break for him, I think.
Yeah. Did not play well in terms of, missing those couple layups. But just the numbers overall in general, not great. Not great.
Yeah, not great. And, we have talked extensively about how this team is very deep, right? But Najee tonight, 0 for 2, 3 points for the knife. Ryan Nembhard, I thought he was all right, but D'Angelo only 6 points for D'Lo. Jaden Hardy came in at the very end of the game, only had 3 points. Obviously, you're missing Gaff, and I think that was a pretty big factor in this game, because with him, you can play AD more at the 4 if you want, which I don't necessarily want them to do. But in a position where, Lively's in foul trouble, and then AD is also in foul trouble, now all of a sudden you got Dwight Powell out there for extended minutes. So, they really missed Gafford tonight. But their bench was very thin tonight, KG. There was not a lot of offense off the bench. There was not a lot of defense or really sort of any sort of game-changing effect, pace of the game, tempo, anything like that. The bench was just not very impactful. And I'm just going to be a meanie for 1 second. Caleb Martin did get in at the very end of the game, played 4 minutes. It's the first time we've seen him all season. In other news, Quentin Grimes tonight had 10 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds off the bench.
Oh, wow.
Was plus 18 in a Sixers win, a 1-point Sixers win, by the way, at Boston. And Quentin Grimes will make less money this year than Caleb Martin.
Oh, why did you have to say that? By the way, congratulations to Tanner.
Oh, yeah. VJ
Edgecombe went off for the Philadelphia 76ers in that set
Did
win.
the Mavs make the wrong pick?
I mean, Dylan Harper played pretty well tonight for the San Antonio Spurs. But
not to start off.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But VJ Edgecombe went smooth off in this game. The other number before we take our break here that was really disappointing in tonight's game, the Mavericks were out-rebounded 50-37 by the San Antonio Spurs. And you think a team with this kind of size would do much better in the rebounding department. That was not the case tonight. Out-rebounded by 13.
With Lively in foul trouble, they only had one big on the floor most of the game.
And there it is. Lively was in foul trouble, so he was not able to be out there to help out.
But still, they have the size. If Coop is your 1, you're bigger than them at every position. You should not be getting out-rebounded.
And that's ultimately
that feels
point.
really old man-y to say, but they just
no, you got a ton of size. Yeah. The idea here, tall man, go get ball, rebound ball, old caveman stuff. Just do that. But Lively in foul trouble with only 10 minutes did not help out in the cause into the rebounding.
Yep.
Let's take our first break here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, Victor Wembanyama had one of the plays that you have never seen before and may never see again in a dominant effort for the Spurs against the Mavericks. We'll talk about what happened next. But if you look good, you feel good. And if you want to show off how good you look, you got to do it with branded bills. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, branded bills has you covered with performance and style. If you're looking for some gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. You can start your order and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel that you need. In fact, we've got some great Branded Bills stuff right now with our ALLCITY network and our DLLS hats as well that you can find. And Branded Bills is going to have you looking really good to show off your favorite network in DLLS sports. They also have a partnership with 40 colleges as a part of their campus collection, including TCU, Texas Tech, and Texas. So make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use code BBDLLS for 15% off your first order. Again, that's BBDLLS for 15% off your first order with Branded Bills today.
Well, NBA season has started. The Mavs are going to be at home for a while, but that means they got a whole lot of road games coming in. If you want to follow them on the road, you might be going to a gym that you've never been to before. You don't know what the sightline is like. You don't know what a ticket should cost. You see a price, and you're like, well, are there going to be any hidden fees at checkout? Game Time erases all of that and more. They got zone deals, so you can say, I want to sit in this general area, maybe close to the Mavs bench, and then they will give you the best value tickets in that section or in that area if you just trust them to do the hard work for you. And plus, their all-in pricing is going to let you know exactly what you owe before you get to the checkout screen. There's no hidden fees. There's none of that garbage that's going to spoil your ticket buying experience later on. And plus, they will offer you a panoramic view from your seat, so you know exactly what the sightline is going to look like before you fork over your hard-earned cash. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets or tickets of any kind with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DLLS for $20 off. Tap Ticket Go. Download the Game Time app today. Kevin, what time is that?
Game time?
Boop.
It wasn't game time for the Mavericks, apparently, as they lose 125-92.
It was a late game time. We got to see them what they look like at a 7:30 tip.
Okay.
Maybe they'll look better.
Guess we'll find out in a couple days. As they lose to Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs, Spurs had 5 guys in double figures tonight, led by Wembanyama's 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 block shots.
Can we do a quick trivia on that?
Sure.
You might like this.
Okay.
Right? Only one other player ever has had at least 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks against the Mavs. And I'll give you a hint. He played for the Spurs.
David Robinson.
Yes.
Wow.
He did it against the Mavs way back in 1995.
Don't say way back in 1995 like that. Please.
30 years ago.
Don't do that.
It took him 42 minutes to get there.
And Wemby did it in 29.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
We'll get to a couple super chats here. I see them rolling in. Let's get to a couple of them, Tanner, here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. Shout out to Farhan with the $4.99 super chat. We will never recover from trading our generational superstar. Anyone saying otherwise is coping. This game has always been about getting buckets.
Offense looked very gummy tonight. So much of it is based on, flow and rhythm and timing and kind of being on the same page. It's going to take time for them to figure it out. The problem is, as we said all year last year, it gets late early in the West. The West is really, really damn good. Even Utah looked great tonight.
Really?
Phoenix got a win tonight.
Oh, wow.
So it ain't easy. Nothing is easy.
Well, Utah's not trying to win games on purpose. I'm surprised actually.
They hung 80 on the Clippers in the first half.
What?
Yeah, they were up 78-47 at the half against the Clippers.
Oh, my gosh. What the hell? ERM with the $4.99 super chat. 80 in the first half of the Clippers? Jeez,
they won
man.
129-108.
Oh, wow. I almost gave it back. ERM with the $4.99 super chat. A lot of blame on players, but I'm looking at Jason Kidd, Jay Triano, and Frank Vogel. A lot more you can't let that game
capitulate
like that.
The only problem is, what do you do against Wemby?
There's nothing you can do. There was, you mentioned the play earlier, and we'll get to more of your super chats throughout the course of the show. I have never seen a play like the one that we saw when Victor Wembanyama sends Dereck Lively's stuff about 5 rows, it felt like, into what would have been the crowd if he had blocked it into the crowd, then proceeds to come down the floor, put a series of moves on Lively, crosses him up, then has the nerve to step back on him for 3, gets the foul and the and one, and then knocks down the free throw. When I tell you the crowd exploded into MVP chants, I was sitting next to our good buddy Nick Angstad and Tim Cato, and we were falling back in our chairs, and we're looking at each other like, what the hell are you supposed to do with that? The reverse dunk that he had off of an alley-oop, I mean, it was just, it's Monstar type of stuff that Victor Wembanyama put together. He even had that left-handed dunk on Anthony Davis. I say that to say is, you're watching greatness happen in front of you, and the scariest part about Wembanyama, he's 21. He's only 21 years old. The Mavericks could have did a much better job trying to get physical with the Spurs, try to do some things to, try to crown, but it just wasn't happening.
They did try and get physical with him, but he was getting a lot of calls.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a like a complaining kind of way.
Yeah.
Like if he specifically, or if players in general are going to be officiated to where you cannot put your hands on them, you have to adjust to that. You have to adjust to that. But PJ and Lively and AD kept getting caught with their hands in the cookie jar. PJ very early in the game kind of gave him a little discreet shove as he was rising for a jumper, and they called it. And it's like, all right, I cannot do that anymore.
Yeah.
AD fouled him a couple times, raking his hand across the face. Lively picked up his 5th foul, doing the same thing on a rebound that Wemby already had in his hands. Like, you just have to be more judicious and more responsible about it because, especially without Gafford, this team isn't as big as we're saying it is, because you only got one center on the team, and that's Lively. AD is a center but wants to play power forward, and if that's the case, that's fine. But, maybe I'm handling Lively with kid gloves. You let me know. I don't mind the way that Lively defended Wemby. He fouled him way too much, but I didn't mind the defensive effort. In the second half, AD was getting cooked pretty bad by Wemby a couple times.
Yeah, it was not great.
Just straight line drives right past him.
Yeah, straight line drives past him. I mean, it's hard to make Anthony Davis look small. And Victor Wembanyama made Anthony Davis look small in a number of plays. There was a give and go that Wembanyama had where he catches it. Najee is trying to go for the ball, but somehow the alien-like arm of Wembanyama catches it with the right hand, sweeps it back, and then is able to finish with a dunk. That was just a number of plays that you saw tonight from a player that is as talented and as good as Victor Wembanyama is. But aside all of that, giving up the amount of points that they did in the paint, the lack of physicality at times, and just at times too many easy buckets for San Antonio. The dribble penetration from guys like Dylan Harper or Vassell, who knocked down a couple of shots. Stephon Castle. There were too many times where the Spurs were able to get to the basket, get some and-one opportunities, and make some things happen. And then you start to see what Wembanyama was doing. The defensive execution concerns me based off of what we saw tonight, given the fact that the Spurs did not have a lot of three-point volume either, and they were getting a lot of their points inside where the Mavericks are supposed to have the advantage, even short Daniel Gafford. They're supposed to have that advantage inside, and that was simply not the case tonight.
Yeah, I mean, more than a little bit, dude. They made more shots in the paint than the Mavs did as a team.
Unreal.
34 made shots in the lane for San Antonio, 68 points in the paint. The Mavs made 31 shots total from everywhere on the floor combined. If you were going to field the second biggest, because Ime Udoka was like, hold my beer, guys. Hold my Michelob. If you're gonna sport the second tallest starting lineup in the NBA and make defense and rim protection your entire identity, and this is not a whole referendum on Nico Harrison or anything, but like clearly this team's identity is defense, and defense wins championships, and we're gonna play defense in Dallas. Jason Kidd said that the day that he took over as head coach. You can't get worked like this by a team that you're bigger than on the inside. Like if the Mavs this year lose to teams that just get hot from three,
that's one thing.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to defend that way, but if that's going to happen, then it's going to happen. But you cannot build a team that is explicitly designed to prevent the kinds of shots that the Spurs were getting whenever they wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot play that way. That is you're going to lose every single game like that by 30 plus. And the Spurs might be a top 6 team in the West this year. Might be. Which means the Mavs have about 30 to 40 more of games just like this against teams like this in their own conference, let alone the Clevelands and all the good teams out east too. Like, there's a lot of really tough games on their schedule that they're going to have to be ready for. They cannot play like this like ever again. They can't play like this ever again, KG.
Well, good thing they don't have to see Victor Wembanyama until February 5th. That's the next time the Mavericks have to play the San Antonio Spurs. Another number that can concern you among the many tonight. We've talked about how the Mavericks have wanted to get out and run and get out and transition to get some easy buckets to make things happen offensively. That didn't happen tonight either. In fact, the San Antonio Spurs outscored the Mavericks 31-8 in the fast break department in tonight's game. That's inexcusable for a team that has the guys like Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, and others pushing the ball in transition to only get 8 fast break points, and San Antonio to get out and transition the way that they did and really punish them in that department. That's one of the identities that the Mavericks want to have this year is when they get the rebound, they want to push, they want to run, and they want to play with pace. That did not happen in tonight's game either, with only 8 fast break points against San Antonio.
And they were 13 of 15 on the fast break too.
Yeah.
So they scored basically every time they got out and ran. And now, I mean, the Mavs did 16 turnovers a lot. I think some of those came at the end of the game. It felt like throughout most of the game they were taking decent care of the ball. They had a couple passes go out of bounds. They fumbled a few handoffs. There was definitely some issues.
Speaking of transition, PJ Washington dribbled one right off his foot.
Yeah, and that, I mean, he can't bring the ball to the floor. That happened to him in the finals. Like, you can't do that in the regular season. But the Spurs were running off of misses. You know, it's not like the Mavs are just handing them the ball going the other way. Like, the Mavs are getting beat back down the floor. One of those Wemby alley-oops, that spectacular, like, full sprint going this way and then turn around in midair, catch reverse. Like, that was
disgusting.
Heinous. But
disgusting.
That came on a fast break that kind of wasn't really a fast break. Like, they were just trotting down the floor and then he took off. Like, the Mavs' identity, again, this goes back to fundamental elements of their team. Like, they want to protect the rim and they want to get out and run. Tonight, the team that was protecting the rim and that got out and ran came into your house and beat you by 33 and had the arena going, go Spurs go, for the first time in like 5 years. Like, the Mavs have owned the Spurs for the last 4 or 5 years. That was not the case tonight, dude. And it sucks because I hate the Spurs, but you know, they were first and second best tonight.
Yeah, the MVP chants were audible in the arena tonight for Victor Wembanyama. Let's get to another super chat before we take our next break here on our post-game show, and we'll get to Matt's $4.99 super chat. The irony of Jason Kidd being a great point guard yet thinking you could run offense in today's NBA is hilarious. Why is he so bad of a coach in the regular season? End quote. Matt follows up with a $1.99 super chat. Flagg shouldn't have to deal with that kind of pressure.
I agree with Flagg at PG. I don't really see the value in that. I mean, I said that a lot over the summer. I've said that many times, but you know, a lot of fans and kind of the way that the team justifies it or sort of characterizes it is, well, there's so many other good players on the team that even if it seems like a big responsibility, like all he has to do is blend in. It did not look like he was blending in tonight. It looked like he struggled tonight, you know.
Yeah, he felt real NBA pressure from a really good defender in Stephon Castle. And again, learning lessons for Cooper Flagg in tonight's game. Yes, he had the 10 points, the 10 rebounds, with 4-13 from the field. I did have 3 turnovers in this game and got a real lesson in what it's like to deal with a guard who can pressure you for 94 feet. Stephon Castle is certainly a guard that can do that.
More and more teams are doing that, though.
They are.
I mean, it's going to be like an every night thing here pretty soon. I mean,
as long as they keep putting him out there at point guard.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Wizards coming in. It's Bilal Coulibaly next. Like, he's a pretty good defender too. You know? And they got more guys too. But I do disagree on the Kidd stuff. I think Kidd is a pretty good coach, but he does a lot of experimenting early in the year, and sometimes
we got some early Ryan Nembhard minutes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the results aren't great, and sometimes they're very good. I think we know which bucket to put tonight's game in.
Yeah, not. Let's take our next break here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. When we come back, Our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. going to be joining us from the American Airlines Center. All that and more coming up next.
Now you're walking outside, the sun goes down, and you're getting like a little hint of cool breeze, enough to like, woo.
I know.
All right.
Fall's right here, man.
And that
here.
feels great when you're outside, but you don't want that breeze to follow you on the inside. But if you got cracked windows, or stuck windows, or loose windows, or broken windows, that cold air is going to permeate your house. That is going to drive up your heating bill. It's going to make you cold. You're going to get sick. You're going to be miserable. Eliminate all of that stuff with top quality replacement windows from our friends at Window Nation in Dallas. They have some of the best replacement windows out there. Their installation crews finish the job in 1 day or less. They'll get you set right away. And they offer a lifetime warranty on all their windows. You can celebrate your newly upgraded home with the Dallas Cowboys jersey and a chance to win 2 free tickets to an upcoming game. They are partnered with the Cowboys. Check them out. This month, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 for free. Make no payments for 2 years, no monthly payments, down payments, and no interest until 2027. Schedule a fast free estimate now with the pros at windownation.com. Again, fast at windownation.com. Our friends at Window Nation.
Do you feel it? I know you do, because I feel it. The leaves are changing. The temperature's dropping. The pumpkin spice lattes, Bobby, are brewing. Fall is officially upon us, and there's no better place to celebrate than at Globe Life Field for the annual Fall Festival on November 2nd. The fan favorite event is back for a second straight year with plenty of new fall-themed activities to enjoy, including face painting, trick-or-treat stations, running the bases, carnival games, and much, much more, all directly on the field. My daughter loves to do those kinds of things, especially the whole trick-or-treat. You know, Halloween's right around the corner as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know. She's ready to get her little Bluey and Bingo on coming up this next week here. The event runs from 12 to 4 p.m., and there will be a costume parade every hour, so be sure to wear your best Halloween costume. So if you want to dress up as your favorite basketball player, football player, whatever the case may be, make sure you do that for Fall Fest at Globe Life Field. So don't miss out on the fall event of the year at the home of your Texas Rangers. Tickets are on sale now at globelifefield.com/fall festival. That's globelifefield.com/fall festival.
We got National Tim in the chat.
National Tim alert.
National Tim drops in to say if Cooper's the point guard, then it's a choice not to play any point guard.
Well, that certainly was a choice tonight because
National Tim.
By the way, he had the nerve to tell me when I, did the whole National Tim alert. He's like, I don't like that.
Why not?
He doesn't like the idea of being being alerted or something.
Oh, okay. But we can call him National Tim.
I think he's okay with the National Tim thing.
All right, because whether or not he is cool with it, we are going to continue.
We're going to continue that for sure. Do we have our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. ready? We do. Let's head out to the AAC right now, and we are joined by Ron Harrod Jr. He knows sports, and you can find him on X at Ron Knows Sports. Ron, do you know what the hell happened tonight at the American Airlines Center?
I'm trying to find out, gentlemen. That was a interesting first game as a full-time beat writer. It was a full-time beat down, essentially. Again, I had a chance to be in San Antonio and see Wemby during his rookie season. He's gotten a lot better. Which for Mavs fans, if you're listening and you're saying, well, Cooper Flagg struggled tonight. Well, obviously Victor Wembanyama, he wasn't always this good of a player. He was a good player, but this was a next level that he took. And sometimes it might just take time for a player to grow, because this is probably, one of his first MVP-like performances. If he can, do something like this, maybe he'll actually win the award. So with Flagg, I think he deserves some time, deserves some grace. He's asked to do a lot for a rookie. He didn't play point guard in college. Now he's playing point guard in the, NBA in his first ever game. It's a lot of pressure. Overall, I think he rebounded really well. The defense for the Mavs, which is supposed to be a strong suit, which all three of us have kind of worried about a little bit. It was, a little shaky. The Spurs shot over 55% from the field. They shot good from 3. It was a dominant game by the San Antonio Spurs.
So should Jason Kidd have put Cooper Flagg in that position? As you said, a lot on his plate already as an 18-year-old. Should that plate be that full for the Duke product?
Personally, I would play D'Angelo Russell at point guard. Now, D'Lo did not play amazing in the game, and he played 15 minutes. He was 1 for 6. So I'm pretty sure we kind of know why he did not start at point guard, because Kid is seeing the same thing that we're seeing, but he's seeing it, for a lot more minutes in practice. By D'Lo not really playing, like D'Angelo Russell played 50 minutes, Ryan Nembhard played 15 minutes. Is an undrafted free agent, and your big offseason point guard signing played the same amount of minutes on opening night. That to me says kind of everything without even having to say those exact words. Because if D'Angelo Russell had proved that he could, take over the point guard reins as, he's done throughout his whole career, he would be doing it. Right now, he kind of struggled in this game. So maybe I think Jason Kidd kind of felt like he had to kind of play, quote unquote, his best five. But it is putting a lot of pressure on the rookie. And to me, even Klay Thompson. Like Klay Thompson is a player that kind of has always scored within a system and has scored with good passers around him. If there's no good passers, we see Klay Thompson like tonight taking a bunch of contested two, a bunch of contested threes. That's also you're not utilizing your best floor spacer. So it's kind of just putting a lot of players at a disadvantage. But PJ Washington was a bright spot, 7 for 11, 17 points. He made 2 threes. PJ Washington would be kind of my player of the game. I think he, for the Dallas Mavericks at least, I think he played pretty well.
What is the attitude of the team like? Like, what was the vibe like in pressers afterward?
PJ Washington, even though he had a good game, was pretty monotone, was pretty low. He said, he would, just it was just one game. The team will bounce back. He said they didn't do anything well, even though I think again he had a pretty good game. Jason Kidd, again, as he usually is, pretty monotone, kind of just saying, hey, one game at a time. They'll build on it. They said, just kind of talking about Wemby. Said he's, just a hard player to stop. He's a really, really good player. He stopped and made a joke about Wemby being a really, really good player multiple times. Anthony Davis in the locker room after the game, he had a scrum around him as he, getting his, ice in his knees. He kind of just talked about kind of just taking it one game at a time, kind of the team growing, and he just, expects the team to be better, but it's just, game one.
Yeah, it is just game one of 82. You never want to lose your home opener, let alone doing that to the San Antonio Spurs, of course, one of the deep-hated rivals of the Dallas Mavericks.
Damn right.
One of the
and
things
some MVP chants did break out. Some Go Spurs goes broke out in the third quarter at a road game. That was pretty surprising. They were usually drowned out by the Mavs fans, but just even the fact that was happening, I could see some Mavs fans were very agitated.
Yeah, I mean, Spurs fans had a reason to cheer because Victor Wembanyama is out here blocking shots and crossing up 7-foot centers and hitting step back 3-pointers on them. I'm sure Spurs fans would break out an MVP chance too if they saw that, which they happened to do. I think one of the things, Ron, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Frank Vogel is Jason Kidd's right hand man, and this defense is Frank Vogel principles. This is a defense that the Mavericks have been playing for a little while now. To see this kind of performance from one of the things that's supposed to have some continuity about it itself, to me is kind of concerning in game one. Yes, I know Wemby did the Wemby thing, but it was just way too many points in the paint, too much dribble penetration, too many fast break points. Like all the things that Frank Vogel defense is supposed to not give up, that happened tonight against San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the Dallas Mavericks did well on defense tonight. They didn't really guard the perimeter. They were getting ran by a lot, just with, driving to the paint. They didn't really guard the rim to me at a high level. I mean, Wemby, again, did what he wanted to do in the paint. Dylan Harper, who struggled, I think, maybe the first quarter, in the, second half kind of took off. I think he had 15 points. Stephon Castle had probably the easiest 22, 7, and 6 you'll ever see. He had 22 points, and it was oh, Stephon Castle has 22 points. He just was driving to the lane, getting rebounds, making plays, guarding. So I'm just not sure what exactly the Mavs did well on the defensive end in the first game. Doesn't mean that they won't, do good on Friday. They do get the Washington Wizards in town. And if you need a chance to get back right, well, let me tell you, the Washington Wizards are coming. So I think if the Mavs need a next game, I don't think it could be any more perfect than the Washington Wizards coming to town for them.
It's weird because it felt like the Spurs 15th game of the year, 20th game.
They felt
it felt
very
like they
much,
knew what they were doing.
Yes, for sure.
And they were out their max player. The max player on the Spurs is not Victor Wembanyama. As he will be eventually, but as of today, it's De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox did not even play in this game. So that's a whole nother. You can say Daniel Gafford didn't play for the Mavericks, but De'Aaron Fox is a former All-Star player. He didn't even play in this game. So Stephon Kessler kind of had to step up, just the reigning rookie of the year. But regardless, De'Aaron Fox again is a max player that the Spurs decided to make essentially when Wembanyama's Robin. So the fact that he missed this game and they still won like this, to me, was also like probably one of the most concerning things.
You want to smile, Bobby, real quick?
Yeah.
Do you know who led the team in assists tonight?
Najee Marshall?
No.
Anthony Davis?
No. Your GOAT, Ryan Nembhard, led the
Oh,
team with
let's
5
go,
assists tonight
dude.
for the Dallas
Let's
Mavericks.
go.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but Ryan Nembhard did lead your team with 5
Probably
assists
not
tonight.
No,
getting
that's
15 minutes.
Ron,
Yeah.
I want to get your journalistic take on this. So I see AA Cool G in the chat says DLLS Mavs will be therapy again this year. First off, thank you. I'm happy
Thank
to
you so
serve that
much.
role for you.
You feel that way.
And then
Thank
follows
you.
it up with the team may win 35 games.
Ugh.
Now, I figured that sentiment would be pretty low after this game, so I posted something on the old bird. Does this game change your outlook for the season? From at DLLS_Mavs. 44% of people say nope, I feel the same. 54% of people say I feel worse, and for some reason 2% of people said I feel better.
Those are the folks that want the draft pick.
Yeah, no, this is great. I love
Yeah,
this.
that's
Let's
for
go.
the agenda for the
Darren
draft
Peterson
pick.
and DeBonson on them.
Right.
Are we overreacting if we're like, oh man, I don't know after one game, or do you think that there are signs of I don't know?
Yeah, I think okay. So I think I agree with Anthony Davis. It is just one game, and I still would like to see at least a 10-game kind of sample size, because a lot of
Sure.
the weaknesses and problems that we saw today, all three of us have already talked about throughout the show. You all talked about this all summer. So it's not. I wouldn't say anything today like really surprised me outside of Lively, playing 10 minutes in the game and getting 5 fouls. That was probably the biggest like surprise. Everything else was kind of expected. I think this team is going to need time. Cooper Flagg again might improve significantly quick. He, in the third quarter, had his 6 straight points. I said, okay, so he kind of found where his spots were going. He hasn't, made his official first 3-point shot yet in the NBA in the regular season. I think we just have to give the team time. Jason Kidd's going to make some adjustments. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if a D-Lo's starting at point guard in the game, maybe he might throw Ryan Nembhard as the starting point guard. I just would not be shocked, to be honest, at any configuration, because it just felt like in the press conference that nothing is finalized.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell, especially in that third quarter, someone must have said something to Cooper Flagg at halftime. Like, hey, my guy, go get some. Like, you're going to have to not only initiate for others, but you might go get some in your own offense too. And you could tell he came out a lot more aggressive looking for his shot, especially early on in that third quarter. Had a nice little scoop layup in that third period as well. So Tim Legler had mentioned, a couple of weeks ago, like, once he kind of starts to find that confidence offensively, things will start to change, especially as his teammates continue to respect more of his game offensively too. You saw a flash of that in the third quarter as he started to kind of get going a little bit there. Before we let you go, any final takeaways from the AAC on this Wednesday opening?
Yeah, the Mavs just play a lot of players, which the Mavs are one of the deepest teams, if not the deepest team in the NBA. But like, they were playing like 11 players like before halftime. Like, so it just that was another
That's a
kind of
certified
shocking
Jason
thing
Kidd bit.
again.
That's a certified Jason Kidd bit
Yeah.
on opening night.
So I'm like, oh, okay, he's trolling us, or he's just trying a lot of different lineups and a lot of different players. I thought that was interesting, because maybe he was just seeing again what was going to work, and again, foul trouble. I mean, Wemby got Dereck Lively in foul trouble, Anthony Davis in foul trouble. Man, Dwight Powell had minutes in the game. It was shocking. So I think that was probably some of just my biggest takeaways and my final thoughts. But make sure to go read my 3 thoughts after the game.
Say it again.
I said, make sure to go read 3 thoughts after the game. They should be up in an hour.
AllDLS.com. We're about to tell you how you can read that too.
Sports. He is Ron Harrod Jr., our DLLS Mavs beat writer. Ron, thank you so much for the time, perspective. Really appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Ron.
Let's take our final break here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we welcome in our national NBA insider, Marc Stein, where he has some better news about what he's got going on than what happened at the AAC tonight. We'll talk to him about it next.
You should become a diehard.
You should.
All right? You should become a diehard so that you can read Ron's 3 thoughts. He is doing instant reactions, and that's a freebie that's available to everybody. It's just a quick take, maybe a quick couple takes from the game. But if you want to get that in-depth reporting, analysis, feature writing, you want to get stuff that he's going to write on the off days, interviews with players, any sort of breakdowns, and that's not just on the Mavs beat, that's also on the Cowboys beat, the Stars beat, the Rangers beat from all of our talented writers throughout DLS Sports. Well, becoming a diehard is the only way to read it. You scan that QR code. Well, it disappeared. Go back in time and scan the QR code, and that will take you, or just go to your browser, go to alldlls.com and sign up to become a diehard. When you do, you will be given a shirt, a free shirt of your choice. We got about 50 of those to choose from, maybe even more at this point. I haven't counted in a little while. We are actually about to roll out some new stuff tomorrow, though.
Let's go.
That's exciting. So be on the lookout for that. I believe if you're a hockey fan, you'll be happy with this stuff. But you get a free shirt of your choice when you sign up. And also, if you see other stuff that you like while you're a diehard, you get to save 20% on all other merch, all other events that we do. You get to join the DLS Diehard Discord. It is a mostly a pretty happy place. Tonight, I would say it was reserved.
Oh, okay.
It was sober.
Okay.
It was very understated.
Okay.
Tonight. That is like the most polite way that I could put it.
All right.
But it's a pretty wholesome place. Go in there, hang out with other diehards, and you get your physical diehard card.
I have mine.
Oh,
it's too heavy to lift at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just not in a bad way.
No, it's great. It's made of titanium, vibranium, and gold.
It's not like heavy, like spiritually heavy.
It's keeping me seated in this chair.
Yeah, it's just like it's midnight. I'm not used to being awake
at
this time.
That's
I'm used to laying my sweet precious head down on my pillow.
Great point.
But we're going to be bringing you post games all year long. Doesn't matter what time it is, as long as it's not those Portland games.
Game time? Oh, wrong.
Huh?
Shout out to the nearly 500 of you watching us live here as we are now into Thursday morning here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. Mavericks unfortunately get clobbered 125-92. Victor Wembanyama, 40 points, 15 rebounds. He was credited with 3 blocks. It felt like he had 10 as the Mavericks dropped their first game of the season. Let's go back out to the American Airlines Center and welcome in our national NBA. And yep, there it is. We are so back. We are so back to regular season. Marc Stein adjusting the camera as I introduced him. We're so back. You can find him on X at the Steinline. He is our guy, Marc Stein. Mark, what's going on?
Gents, it is great to see you. It is great to see the massive crowd watching this show. That's very heartening considering, as Kevin said, it is now Thursday. I know everybody wants to talk Mavs, but
we're good.
It is very difficult for me, having watched what I just watched, to just not want to talk about Wemby for the next 10 plus minutes.
Yeah, Mark, we saw
stuff tonight that just that I've never seen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's year 30 for you covering the league, or thereabouts. 33. Wow, how about that?
Yeah, give him his 3 years.
Bird
33.
Year.
That's all right.
I don't know that I've ever seen anything like some of the things that Wemby did tonight. What were your impressions sitting courtside watching that display of? I don't even. It defied physics and gravity and what the human body's capable of.
I've actually lamented a lot to my son whenever we talk about Wemby, is that I have only seen him in person a few times before tonight. And of course, you remember there was the game he was supposed to play here and the tangle with the ball boy. He didn't even get to play. For whatever reason, the few times...
brought that guy in tonight. Maybe it would have helped us out.
Yeah, for sure. The few times that I've seen Wemby in person, I have never been treated until tonight to one of those jaw-dropping performances. And look, Dereck Lively and Wemby shared an NBA debut, and Dereck Lively won that face-off, and the Mavs won in San Antonio. And, Lively has had, some success against Wemby, so I don't know if that factored into it. But, the way he moved tonight, I mean, all the talk has been that he's, they're now listing him at 7'5". The rumbles are that he's 7'7". He moved so forcefully, so gracefully. He went, I mean, it wasn't just I tweeted that too. It wasn't just all the dunks. And 6, 7, 8, I lost count. But just where he takes off from, double clutch, Dominique Wilkins reverse. He's a foot taller than Dominique Wilkins. I mean, one pump fake to lose a double team, and throw down that the windmill on the baseline before that. I mean, these are dunks on the move. And then what he did at the other end, I mean, Bobby tweeted the stat at one point. What were the Mavs? 8 for 27 in the paint.
Yeah.
It's because they were thinking about him every time they got anywhere near the rim. I mean, shot creation was an issue all night. But once they did get down there, like, you don't want to be down there because you feel, I mean, like Kev said, he only got credited with 3 blocks, where I guess they only credit him with blocks when he absolutely mutilated the ball with just an angry swipe down. I mean, we were all just turning to each other like in awe. I've never lived in San Antonio. I've never been a Spurs beat writer, but I've covered a lot of the Spurs. I covered all of their championships. I've seen a lot of Spurs basketball for someone who doesn't live in San Antonio. The first year I covered the league, I covered David Robinson's 71-point game to clinch the scoring title. I mean, I have seen a lot of highs from San Antonio, but what I saw tonight was literally stuff that I'd never seen before. And, when I threw that out to a couple Spurs, a couple members of the Spurs traveling party, they're like, yeah, nobody has. This guy does stuff you have just never seen. And then, after the game, I'm just in the hallway doing my usual stalking preparations, and I look down the hallway and he's doing push-ups in the hallway and going through this whole and like doing this whole weightlifting routine after, because like he knows, he's got to keep strengthening his body. I mean, I am awestruck and dumbstruck. It was just like I said, we've seen better lines than 40, 15, and 3, but there was just so much here tonight on display. I'm really glad I was here for it because,
Well,
like
Mark,
I said,
I don't think. I mean, I can check this, but I doubt anyone has ever done that in under 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's the scariest part. Like, he did it under 30 minutes and with relative ease. You talked about some of the, the athletic plays. I mean, some of the fade bank shots that he was hitting over defenders. I mean,
that's another thing. Now he's smooching bank shots like he's Tim Duncan. Like he did. There were so many things going on tonight. And, in the first half, bump and just jump hook off the glass over AD. If he can move AD like that, this league is in big trouble. And then in the second half, when he went left and just punched it over him with his left hand, like, what are you supposed to do with that?
I mean, obviously the Mavs couldn't do anything with it. Like, I genuinely felt bad for Dereck Lively because my man gets his stuff swatted on one end, and then Wemby comes down, does the whole Allen Iverson, crossover, and then hits the step back 3-pointer, and then he fouls him on the shot and knocks down the 3. I can only imagine what your colleagues were thinking as they were watching that sequence of events. But
I do, real quick, I do stand corrected. One person has gone for 40, 15, and 3 in under 30 minutes before tonight. That person, Anthony Davis.
Oh, wow.
Actually did it back in 2017. AD is one of the very few, I think there's only 4 or 5 guys that have compiled that stat line against the Mavs.
Oh,
David
wow.
Robinson, obviously. 40 and 15, period. AD did not have 3 blocks tonight, but he does show up on a lot of lists tonight.
Unreal.
Look, there were no shortage of Mavs issues, and we will be talking about them. I'm sure you guys have already covered a lot of that ground, and I presume we will be talking about them tomorrow and Friday, but it's like today is a day that I really want to like. That was special. I mean, the one of the among the many disheartening things for the home team tonight, I heard "Go Spurs, Go" chants in here. Like I don't remember hearing that here. Like maybe it's happened and I'm just old and don't remember.
Me no
but
like don't like that.
That was like that was an audio shock. I mean,
that's the home opener. That is the home
multiple
opener.
Just the loudest "Go Spurs, Go" chants that I can remember hearing. Like I said, maybe it's happened after a big playoff game and I just don't remember, but I mean, I genuinely don't remember that. And after the game, Wemby was being escorted to his interview by Tom James, who's the Spurs' long-serving PR chief. Tom's been with the Spurs for almost 40 years, and Wemby was remarking to him, "Did you hear that?" Like, I mean, it was very audible and very shocking to me that much noise could be that there were that many Spurs fans in here creating that amount of noise.
Well, we have a few minutes left in our show before we get to the rest of our super chats.
I mean, it's like I said when I logged on here. I mean, it's awesome to see almost 500 people watching. Maybe I shouldn't ask this, but what is the vibe in chat right now?
When is the trade deadline? You know,
a lot of questioning whether the GM should be the GM still.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
Which, hey, all fair.
Before we
February
let you go,
February 5th is the trade deadline. Today's October 22nd. No, today's October 23rd.
We have about 3.5 months to start seeing the vision.
You know what else is on February 5th? The next time the Mavericks play the Spurs. So thanks a lot. Appreciate the reminder.
Is it really?
Yes, that's the next time they play San Antonio.
No games there? Really?
Yeah, that's the next time. Yeah, it's a long time between Mavericks Spurs games. Yeah, February 5th. Next time these two teams get together. Before we let you go, a hearty congratulations to our guy, Marc Stein, as it was announced today that our National NBA Insider will be hanging out with his good buddies over at Amazon with the Amazon NBA coverage and an editorial role for Amazon Prime NBA coverage. Here, Marc Stein, congratulations, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Much appreciated. It's obviously, I mean, I'm really, really excited about it. And I mean, Friday, I think we're all going to be watching because obviously a certain Dirk Nowitzki will be making his studio debut, but they have assembled an absolute all-star squad. It's a really cool, it's just the whole enterprise is really exciting. And I'm, incredibly grateful and humbled, and thank you guys for all the kind words today. I got a lot of very nice messages, which was very, very moving.
Don't worry, he's not leaving us. He's not going anywhere. He'll be right here with us still. But
that is true.
Stein loves to work. He works
here tonight, Friday night, Sunday night, Monday night. 5-game homestand to start the season.
Yay!
Must win game on Friday night against the visiting Washington Wizards.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Could you imagine? Nice 0-2.
That's right.
No,
Wizards.
No. They're gonna win Friday night.
I'm with you.
You want to guarantee that? You want to put a guarantee on that?
Guaranteed.
Let's go.
Okay. All right.
That's the kind of energy we need to take into that game against the Wizards.
The Wizards.
Right? Show them who's boss.
The Wizards. That's our National NBA Insider, Marc Stein. Marc, thank you so much for the time and perspective, and we will chat with you later this week.
All right, guys. Be good.
Bye, Marc. We got to do the overtime thing?
Yeah. We are into overtime here.
Are we even on fast?
Well, we are into overtime here on the DLLS Mavs podcast, as on the postgame show, as the Mavericks fall 125-92. I want to thank our television audience for joining us here on tonight's postgame show. As we continue here on the YouTube side of things, let's finish up with our super chats here on this now Thursday morning. We left off with Frank with the $5 super chat. If Wemby is on it like today, I'm not even that upset with the loss because I get it. There's nothing you can do to defend that, but just watch.
Mostly true. You wonder how many fans and how many opposing teams walked out of the gym shaking their heads in resignation after Luka did that to them for 7 years. The Mavs, I mean, defense helps and having depth matters, but at the end of the day, you kind of do need one of those guys if you want to go to the special place.
Yeah, and the Mavericks kind of built a team that's really tall and really big and really strong and supposed to be able to deal in some respects. Wemby is Wemby. He's going to get his, but that was
a little too easy.
Too much.
And too easy for everybody else too.
Yes.
If the one guy is going to have it going, then you got to lock down everybody else.
Everybody else.
Or you got to make sure that he passes.
Yeah.
Neither of those things were happening. That was a failure.
Sheldon with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Did we just? Oh no, we did. This is a different one. It started off with the same. If Wemby is going to play like the best player that's why I got confused. Like it literally started. If Wemby, it was the same thing.
If healthy.
Yeah, right. If Wemby is going to play like the best player in the world and have the SGA whistle, then I'm not sure how the Mavs could have stopped him. AD needs to stop shooting long twos and flopping on offense.
Appreciate the $9.99. And also, I agree, there were a few possessions in the first half where AD brought the ball up the floor, dribble, 19-foot step back two. That kind of stuff can never, ever, ever happen.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, I don't want anyone to bring the ball up the floor and then take a 19-footer, ever, for any reason. But, like, AD just cannot do that. There were a lot of possessions where really nothing happened for the first, 10, 15 seconds of the shot clock. This team cannot afford to do it. If you have great isolation players, you can afford to do that because you're just kind of whatever. You're giving basically all your defenders a break while you just kind of dribble the ball for a little bit. This team cannot wait 15 seconds to do something. They have got to get in that offense. Otherwise, it's going to lead to a lot of bad shots.
And some good things happen when the ball moved. I mean, one of the best plays that the Mavs had tonight, Anthony Davis throws a lob from the left, elbow or high post and was able to find Dereck Lively for a dunk on an alley-oop pass.
Early in the shot clock.
Yeah, early in the shot clock. So when the ball moves for them, it works. Farhan with the $4.99 super chat. We can't have made our identity about defense and then let them score almost 100 through 3 quarters. Not just Wemby. Everyone cooked us. Bring back Luka.
I don't know if the Lakers would make that trade.
I don't think they're doing that. Caps 210 with the $1.99 super.
See what Luka did the other night, by the way? Just so casual, and he's playing with a bunch of... He's stuck in 2022-23. It's going to be a long year for them, too, maybe. But, my God, that guy is so good.
Luka's like the Cowboys offense. Like, he is going to have to score 40 a night for the Lakers to be competitive. Because that thing in Los Angeles, yikes, defensively. That looked gross. Cast 210 with the $1.99 super chat. Damn. Wemby stomped y'all. Go Spurs. Go
Spurs go at American.
Oh, at AAC. Okay, got it.
Appreciate the $1.99, but hopefully they were at the American Airlines Center, not American Airlines Arena. That one is in Miami, if it's still called that.
It's not even called that.
What is it called?
The Castilla Center or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm I can say dumbass, right? Then I'm a dumbass, too.
It's been renamed a couple.
Wemby did stomp them, though. That is...
He did do.
He stomped all over all of them.
Yeah, all over them.
And he stomped on me and KG, too.
Repeatedly.
Yeah.
Pause. I'm gonna go to bed.
It's way too late to be at work.
It gets early late. DMAS 4131. This will be an ode to Dirk and Clay with the 4131, maybe.
Oh, Dirk
or
and
Jet. Probably Dirk and Jet. There you go.
Maybe Kelly Olynyk and Reggie Miller. I think.
No.
Okay.
Mavs went from top 3 most fun teams to watch with Luka to one of the most boring teams to watch in the league. 1990s Mavs are back. Thanks, Nico.
That sounds like part of that sounds like something Bobby would have said, like when he was trolling me right before we went
The most
there.
boring teams to watch in the league
1990
part.
Mavs are back.
Yeah,
That's
that part.
basically what
Yeah,
Bobby
that
was
conglomerate
saying.
of thoughts
I,
right
I
there.
would not wish that on anyone, even if it proved that I'm a ball knower. But it was a very boring offensive product to watch tonight, and I am afraid that unless they get some guys that can dribble a little bit and make some passes, it might be whenever they have the ball, that might be the time when you go refill your water, go grab a snack. Like you might want to just buckle down, hunker down and watch them play defense. And then whenever they have the ball, that's whenever you can check your phone.
Well, luckily they have Dante Exum to help out. Tyrese
Good night,
out.
Tanner.
He's on the way soon. Right?
Good night,
T
Tanner.
gonna play?
Coming back, right?
No,
I'll believe him. When
he's not. Where did he go?
he's injuring. He's managing his right knee right now. So
Well, why would he do that? The season started.
it would
Does
be
he
nice.
know?
Be nice to have Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, it
Tanner,
would be.
please
Could
not.
actually play.
Again, he is making less money this year than Caleb Martin. I want to point that out. He made significantly less money than Caleb Martin last year. This year, he is still making less money, even though he got a raise. It is weird how that worked out, but I'm glad that. Caleb
that's
is
right. 'Cause he's
back.
making what, less than $9 million this
He's
year?
making like $8.7 million.
Oh, that's right. It's just the qualifying offer.
Yeah, and the Mavs also gave up
Oh.
like the 35th pick of the draft to get
He
Caleb Martin.
took the qualifying offer. Good gracious.
Yeah.
That'll do it for us here.
Quentin Grimes can handle the ball. He can shoot. He can create his own shot. He's pretty fun to watch.
Thank you to our guy Tanner for making us look good and sound good. As
We're not going to
always.
do this all season. Hey.
What are you doing?
We're making a pledge right now.
Hey, hold on. First of all, hey, put the camera back on the two shot. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Because you made a promise on the social.
I'm not drinking a beer.
Oh wow!
I'm not doing that. Use 1230.
Wait, what was his
You-
promise?
He said, win or lose, he was chugging it.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll
but
do
they
that on
said it
Friday
did
or
just
something.
great.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do it on Friday. It's 12:30 in the morning, dude. Come
I'm
on.
just saying.
I'm slurring my words and I'm sober. Like imagine if I did that. It is way too late. We're making
yes.
a pledge.
Okay, and they did say it was for Dirk and Jet.
Now I don't want to speak on behalf of KG or Tanner or
Oh.
Ron or Marc Stein or
Okay.
GM Ben or any of my fine
Shout
colleagues
out
here
GM
at DLLS
Ben.
Sports, but I do want to speak for myself.
Okay.
All right. There will be low moments this year when inevitably we bring up Luka or Quentin Grimes or any of the other boneheaded decisions that have been made here over the last few years, specifically the last 8 to 10 months. All right. I'm not going to do this every single game. I'm not going to spend all season crying and whining and moping about what could have been, even if it was objectively good and objectively fun and objectively awesome. And if they probably would have made it to at least the conference finals last year, and maybe they would have won the title this year had they just kept that incredibly special team together. But I'm not going to sit around and complain about that and bitch and moan. I understand that there are a lot of people that feel that way still. I certainly do, but it's not fun to listen to. I promise to you, all right, if you keep watching this show for the next 81 post games, plus any play-in and playoffs that we do, we are going to bring you high caliber, high quality analysis of the basketball that we watched. Tonight's basketball sucked ass. And so we talked about that for as much as we could while highlighting the good stuff. Wemby was awesome. Other teams are going to come in here this year, and they are also going to similarly take their belt and smack the Mavs' butts with it for 48 minutes. We're going to talk about the good players on their team too, all right? We got to find something to be happy about. Maybe it'll be the Mavs. Maybe it'll be something else. Maybe it'll be funny jokes. Maybe we'll be talking about things that make us happy that have nothing to do with basketball or sports or anything. But what I promise you is that we are not going to just be like, well, Quentin Grimes is good. I got my jokes off a couple times. That's it for now. If Quentin Grimes scores 35 tomorrow, though, you'll be hearing about it, okay? But it's not going to be an every single game thing. This is a safe space for people sad about the trade. It's a safe space for people that want to move on from the trade. We're all in this together, whether it's awesome or whether it sucks. Thank you.
DLLS Mavs approves that message. I don't want to approve the super chat, but
No, I
Ben-
do, man.
no,
Hell yeah.
But Ben decided at the literal midnight hour dropping a $1.99 super chat. Shout out, GM.
It is
Ben.
absolutely a good point.
This team is just a LeBron away with his old AARP ass dealing with sciatica.
They already got a bunch of 35-year-olds. What's one more?
Added a 41-year-old to it.
Can
with
he
sciatica?
dribble? Can he dribble? Can he pass?
Can he
Is
sit
he
out?
good?
Can he
can
sit out on a
play?
chair
He's
without
never
pinching a
playing.
nerve?
Yeah, he's not
No.
playing.
He was sitting on the bench the other night, looking real quiet, by the way.
Looking real quiet.
Looking real quiet.
Oh, that was some belt to ass tonight. Golly, man. That
It
was
won't be the last
We get
one.
to talk about it more in less than 12 hours.
Oh, my God. We have a show tomorrow?
today.
Whose idea was that?
Kind of yours, actually. Shout out to our guy Tanner, making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. Shout out to our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. for joining us from the AAC. Our national NBA insider Marc Stein as well, joining us from the AAC. That is our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Carella. The Carella
It only gets
Strader.
better from here, folks.
Hey, can we get some Carella Strader stuff from tonight? In later today's
not
show?
No.
No, okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right, cool.
Well, we'll see.
All right,
It
cool.
depends on. We all need to go to bed. And that iPad is pretty finicky. But we might get some stuff.
Yeah, cool. I'm your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. Mavericks get clobbered, get Wemby, I should say, 125-92. We'll be back later on today at 12 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.